Um, they have a lot of wildlife, and what's interesting about the park area is that on the ceiling it mimics their home worlds of Zenite, and apparently where the ship was built, they have three moons. I've only seen two as they cross across the sky, and it's all holographic. The ceiling, it's all holographic, and as the moons cross over, one looks terraformed, one does not. Though I understand that there is life on the inside of it, Hyperborean life on this particular moon. But as they cross, and I said, well, why would you do that? And he said, well, because that's how we measure our time. And everyone who's on the ship is considered crew. It doesn't matter if you're a child, an adult, a senior. Well, I don't know what a senior is. I mean, 2,000-year-old people. I mean, well, anyway, it's hard to measure that. But everybody's considered crew, and many of the beings spend their lifetimes on these motherships. In fact, he said many people reincarnate on the starships as well, because they choose to stay attached to specific soul groups. And these soul groups tend to stay together as a family, so they would come back into these families. I do not know how that works on fifth density, but it made sense to me. And that's where I learned about soul groups, which is what I've shared with as many people as I can here. So let's see. So that's how they know time, and the older folks, or the senior folks, the vintage. It's important to them because it reminds them of home, and it helps them remain in sync with the home world or life as they know it, because their bodies, the ships are built to literally mimic the home world. And because the ships are organic anyway, just like any planet is, it's organic. In the very beginning, when the mass exodus from Lyra began, they didn't have the raw materials to build starships. So what they did was, the ships they did have, they went out and captured asteroids, and they would bring them back, and they would hollow them out, and they would do their best to terraform or create ecosystems on the inside of these ships, and they would build what propulsion systems they needed. They would put it on the surface, typically in a crater, so it would be protected at least from most sides. As they would pass through asteroid fields and debris fields and things like that. So, and that's what they used to migrate. And the Pleiadians were the same. All life, human life per se, in our galaxy began that way by using these asteroids, these ships, these hollowed out asteroids as ships. And some of them were large; they were moon-sized pieces, and that's how it got started. And they still have many of these ships today. They are, in fact, in Zenite, they have many of them used. They're parked around other planets and moons, and they are now used for education, historical perspectives and references. They are also loaned out for specific expeditions, I'm told, science expeditions. They have, of course, all been upgraded. And, some teams, let's say a group from Altar showed up and, they got stuck somewhere. They would loan them one of these asteroids, and they would say, okay, go to your destination, and when you get there, let us know. And then they would go and retrieve the asteroid and bring it back. So it's almost like a Zenite rent-a-car. And the Pleiadians started exactly the same way. Many civilizations started this way. And, again, it just goes to show that, humanity, we have this strong desire to survive. We will figure it out if we're given the time to figure it out. So, and you know, we have good genes in us. I mean, we're the sum total of 22 different races. And when we get our shit together, oh boy, are we going to be, we're going to be something to reckon with. You know, we really are, because we have this enormous, incredible gene pool with all this cellular memory, you know, genetic data. And it's not just one lifetime, it's you know, millions of years. So, and then when you attach when you attach the soul to those bodies, and the memory of all of the soul with all of its memories of different lifetimes living in different dimensions, yeah, we're different. We're different.
I'd love to come to Elena and ask you a question, darling.
Yes,
hearing
sure.
Everything that Alex is sharing, and again, none of us planned, no agenda, we haven't swapped intel, we're just being real and organic as we all are. Elena, how does the intel that Alex is sharing with us, how does it compare to your own personal and physical experiences?
Oh my God, it resonates with so many things. I don't know a lot about the Zene or Zenate, but I can speak about my own experience. The smells. Oh my God, I've been to different facilities run by different races, species, I have to say. The Ginvo facility on Ganymede, it smells like sulfur. The first time I went there, I went, oh my God, I'm gonna need to. There was no choice. I needed to get on, like suck it up and just, that's it, breathe it. So, and you get used to it because you really make an effort. That's a different smell. And on board Thorhan's mothership, it's one of the motherships of the Federation. They have plenty. It's a military station. There's a quarter for the Egaroth, and because, you know, each species has their own mothership because they recreate their own environmental conditions with pressure, air, everything, and so they're comfortable and they really relax on it. But when they visit other species environments, they wear these belts, these frequency belts, which are going to adapt the physiology to the environment, different environment. So the day I went to visit the Egaroth quarters on the ship where Thoran lives, a huge ship. Yes, I was put this belt, but the smell, it smelled like ozone. And one of my friends, Anax, is an Egaroth, and I suddenly realized when I'm close to him, his skin smells like ozone. And I always wondered all my life why I love the smell of ozone so much. I have, in my early 20s, I bought this Tesla sphere. It's like, you know, lightning pink stuff. And when you approach your hand, it creates ozone. And I was like sniffing it, like, I was always like, zzz. And why do I love ozone so much? It's because Anax put a little bit of his Anax put his DNA in me when I was an embryo to adapt my DNA. He did that. He's my Egaroth father. So I have a bit of Egaroth DNA in me. That's why ozone, I love it so much. It's the smells. It's absolutely that really resonated with me. And many other things I forget you said, but the smell that just struck me. Oh yes, yes, yes. And all these species, different species, running around, and yeah, when they're not in their environment, they wear these bells. Yeah. So that's just what I want to say.